Why are Manchester United fans happy to accept mediocrity? What club does Dom Solanke really need to play for if he's going to get noticed by Gareth Southgate? Was that our most frustrating draw of the season? And how on earth is Tyler Adams going to get in and disrupt this incredible midfield duo of Lloyd Cook and Ryan Christie? Welcome. This is Back of the Net and this is the second look. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
It was a frustrating draw then at Dean Court on Saturday, one where we should have come away with 3 points. On the surface, a point's okay, but having seen the game, not so much, Tom.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. I think they said it in some interviews with the players. If you had said 4 points off Man United this season, you would have ripped their hands off. But, you know, the way we played in both games, we thoroughly deserved 6. We actually created probably more chances than we did at Old Trafford. But, yeah, it's all about finishing them. Didn't surprise me. We spoke about it in the previews. They're a very open team. I was confident because of that we'd have loads of moments. And it was just about finishing them. We didn't quite finish enough. 2 weren't enough, mate. And obviously a few decisions and stuff didn't go our way, which was a real surprise against Manchester United. But listen, I enjoyed it, mate. I enjoyed the performance. Said this numerous times. I enjoy the fact that, you know, we're safe, we're fine, and we're still putting in performances like that and entertaining the supporters. So I really enjoyed it, and it's, you know, testament to the whole group really of how we're going toe to toe with Man United, and we're a better team.
So Cherry's Premier League status has been mathematically confirmed, but let's face it, again, we've not been looking down the table, have we? We've been looking up, but has that scuppered our European chances? Who knows? We've got a lot to delve into. Like every podcast, this episode of Back of the Net is sponsored by Green King Sport, where football is more than a game.
So make Green King your go-to destination for the season's final stretch. Why? Well, for one, you can watch every televised Cherries game down with delicious food, refreshing beverages, and with 900 sports clubs dotted around the UK, chances are you're within walking distance of your local Green King.
Let's be honest, football, it's always better watching with friends and family. So get the squad together, pop a message on the WhatsApp chat, and then get to the Green King pub where every televised Premier League fixture will be on. Title showdowns, the race for European qualifications, and nail-biting relegation 6-pointers.
Yeah, don't forget to download the Green King Sport app as well. You enjoy exclusive competitions and discounts whenever there's a game on.
So you may have seen the vlog on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, there's a couple of things just quickly whilst we're here that you can do to enhance our chances of this video being seen.
Subscribe, like, bell. Do all them 3 things. And yeah, we really appreciate it. And, you know, after Sam's going to dive into a bit of hospitality from us, you know, I managed to keep Sam out for longer than he perhaps wanted to at his age, but he still managed to find time to put a vlog together for you guys. So please subscribe if it's only for that. And
we've made the vlog more of a hospitality review, and it's quite interesting to see some of the comments. And some people, as a result of that, have made inquiries about the Cherry Orchard, and others have said, look, it's too expensive for me, which, look, I completely get. But we did have the hospitality experience, and you know what, mate, I enjoyed it. It was a 60th birthday for Jeff Hayward, who, of course, if you're watching and listening, maybe more for the listeners, but he was the co-founder of the rebirth of Back of the Net back in 2019. Of course, we've been around since 2016, but Jeff was the one that inspired us to even do the YouTube like we're doing now. So it's nice to see him celebrating loads of cool gifts. There's another gift on the way still, Jeff. That's still to arrive. But we went into the old 1910 bar.
Yeah.
3-course meal, glass Prosecco, winning quizzes, doing really well, speaking to some famous faces, including Fronal, and all in all, a good time.
Yeah, good experience, mate. Enjoyed it. Yeah, as you say, I think, you know, obviously there's certain people that prefer getting in there, and I'm definitely one of them that like just the general football routine. But I think when you do it on the odd occasion and for a special occasion, I think it's a really nice one. Very fortunate now. I think it's come into play just this season with Big Fletch getting involved with talking to, obviously we spoke to Ryan Christie after the game because he was the man of the match, and Russell Beardsmore was there as well. Obviously we haven't played for both clubs, but having Fletch kind of come down and chat through it, and that's always nice. I think we're very fortunate that we've got such a club legend to be able to do that, so that's always cool. And you know, when you've got table full of football brains, you're going to win the quiz as well. So, who went up and won the tiebreaker for us?
Well, it was interesting. We haven't posted the full video of what happened on the vlog. We just used the excerpts, but we had the quiz. We were pretty confident that we did well on it. We nearly got every answer
One
right.
question, wasn't it?
There was just one that it was like, how many goals has Dom Solanke scored in all competitions? And we forgot that he
Swansea.
scored
5-0. We've got the Swansea 5-0, so we only put one cup goal down, which cost us. But yeah, there was other teams that kind of only got one wrong as well. So we had a tiebreaker, didn't we?
And the first tiebreaker was about Rio Ferdinand's Premier League appearances. And there were 3 of you up on stage. Yeah. One of them was eliminated straight away because the answer was so far out. But then it was you and one other. And you were both like 118 appearances
Either
out.
side.
Either side.
Oh, mad, yeah.
So I had to go to another tiebreak, and of course, an ex-Cherries link. I don't know why he did this. Matt Lettiz.
Yeah.
He chose Matt Lettiz.
Yeah.
And how many Premier League appearances? I think it was like 200 and something. You got closest, didn't you?
Yeah, I was fortunate that I just had this moment of when he went quite high that he stated Premier League, and he's played a lot when it was First Division.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me get it right. But yeah, it was a nice moment to get the win and go, yeah, Jeff, have some more bottles of wine, mate. But yeah, no, enjoyed the whole experience, mate. And yeah, it's always helpful as well when the game's a bloody good one to go and watch as well.
Absolutely. So after the 2-2 draw, we'll just take a look at the league table. Now, actually, why am I showing you this? You know what? We don't even need to play next week's game either, because we already know the result, because Sky Sports told us what it was with their league table graphic that they showed on Super Sunday, with Villa securing a 2-0 win. I think Palace might have been involved in a 1-0 as well and got the result there. What's going on there?
Oh, they don't like us, do they?
They really don't like us. But look, let's flash back. This is the official league table as it is. AFC Bournemouth are in 13th place. We are on 42 points. And yeah, as you work it out, you can now tell that we will no longer be relegated, which is superb.
I'm sure they're talking about this everywhere, because they made a lot about that we're definitely going down. A disgraceful decision to hire Antonio Raiola. So I'm sure they're all coming out now apologising.
In fact, I think Tom Garrett on social media, the one that
He's gone, hasn't he?
broke his... Well, I mean, he must have. He said, I'm not going to make a video again if AFC Bournemouth...
He said that last season.
He did.
And then he said, don't worry about it. I actually meant next season. Okay.
So
do it again, Tom, if you want,
yeah,
mate.
You
Whatever.
still making videos? Yeah, just do it. Just rinse and repeat. The form table shows that Bournemouth are in 6th position, still in a European spot in the form table. And you know what that point against a top 6 side does?
I know what you're doing.
It's affected the baseline tracker.
Oh, baseline.
Where Bournemouth, I mean, you look at it, and there's Villa on plus 27, of course. Absolutely rinsing out there. Newcastle United, where have they come from, by the way? I thought they were having a mediocre season. 6th in the league. So
almost going out of Europe and stuff, they seem to manage to kick on a little bit.
Yeah, they have. So they're on plus 17, Wolves plus 13, West Ham plus 12, Bournemouth plus 9.
Don't say what Sheffield United are wrong, so it'll give me flashbacks. Minus 17.
Minus 17. But look, before the game, I think a lot of Bournemouth fans were slightly concerned by some murmurings coming out of various unofficial departments, we have to say, but rumours that Dom Solanke might not be available, rumours that Sinistera wasn't going to be available. We knew that Semenyo was out, so we were maybe reining in our expectations for this game against a Manchester United side that we know can grind out results. We saw the way that Liverpool dominated them in the match previous, yet somehow they came out with a Desmond. And I'm looking at it now thinking they've done it again.
They do it every week, I think. Obviously, because it's Manchester United as well, they're on telly a lot, so seen so many of their games, and I always come out of it thinking, God, they're rubbish. Did they lose? No. And that's a lot of people saying that. It's not just us, mate. But yeah, as you say, I think there were players that play with illnesses. By the sounds of it, there's been a bit of a bug going around. We don't know how severe some are more than others, obviously. So that's always a concern, because you think, I don't know who's more ill than who else. And obviously the Semenyo one was unfortunate, but I feel like it sounds like that's not long term, which is a positive. We knew Tav was pretty much going to be out, but positive that City, obviously in hindsight, probably shouldn't have. But I think Andoni come out afterwards and said, you know, I regret that decision of starting him, but fair play to Cine. He was really keen to play. Unfortunately, when it's a hamstring, that can happen, can't it? You can just feel it again quite quickly, and he obviously did. But yeah, before the game, I was pleased to see him starting, albeit that meant I only got 10 out of 11 on my prediction.
You got 11 out of 11 for them, though, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
What else could they have done, really? Not much.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought Mason Mount hasn't been back long enough, so I didn't see him coming in. And I just felt, I think against us, they played Amrabat, but I thought they needed some legs in there with Mainu. So, yeah, that didn't surprise me too much. And they kind of have to pick their back four at the moment with the injuries they've got.
I learnt before the game that Mike Botto was not there.
Never the same, is it?
He was in Hong Kong. It's never the same, but tell you what, Aaron Paul stepped in and he did a good job. He's had a lot of praise, actually, on the mic, so fair play to him for getting involved. And, sometimes we have, that Northern Irish guy, don't we? That always comes on. Oh, Jefferson Lerma.
But he was phenomenal on Sunday, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was. Absolutely superb. And a good 3 points for them. Yeah. But, yeah, and then the game got started. Yes. Now, we were in hospitality seats, so I was thinking, where are we sat? Third row.
Yeah, row C. I went from E to C. that's what I can say. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, a bit different, but yeah, a little bit low, wasn't it? I
kind of like that angle, though.
Yeah,
I must admit, I don't mind the diagonal angle, and let's be fair, we were in prime position for 3 of the goals.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, if I wanted hospitality, my season tickets in the north, I wouldn't have seen. I never see that Southend goal closest, so it was a bit different for me. But yeah, and the first half was the half we had most of our big opportunities as well, wasn't it? So
and I was watching a 20-minute highlights package back, and I forgot how good we were. I mean, look, I did have a glass or two of wine, but even still, I mean, I thought it was incredible at the time, but I didn't quite realise how good we were because our pressing was so good, winning the ball back in their half.
Yeah.
And we manufactured a load of chances. We'll take a look at the shots chalkboard a little bit later on, but Ryan Christie had a fair few chances, one of which went over the bar, one was side-footed into Onana, and there was one after 6 minutes that I noticed where he won the ball back, was dribbling from left to right, praying for him to pull the trigger, and he just didn't.
I mean, I've got to be honest, I wasn't praying for him. Poor Ryan Christie. Why can't he shoot when he can do everything else 10 out of 10? I mean, I know which one you're on about, mate, and he kept on to it too long, didn't he? And
I just thought, come on, shoot with your left foot, but he just didn't take
it. It was like the first one he didn't shoot because he knows that he doesn't score many. So then he get it the next time and he goes, I'm just going to win it, and it goes over. So then the next time he goes, I don't know that over again. So he just places it. Nothing ever goes in, does it? But listen, we'll obviously come on to him in more detail. He was absolutely phenomenal again. But that was the kind of first sign, wasn't it? And yeah, it just, as soon as the whistle went, mate, a bit like at Old Trafford, we were just swarmed all over them.
I thought they were bang average. That first half made them look really average, and in many ways it was flatter. That 2-1 scoreline at half time was flattering.
Mate, they had even in the whole game, they had 2 shots on target. One was a penalty. They both went in.
But you know what? Their fans, I was really surprised that they were right opposite us.
Yeah, kept singing about Wembley.
Yeah,
how the might have fallen. All they're singing about is playing Coventry in the last 4.
And also, we've won it all. We've won the lot. We're Man United, and we're never going to stop. Well,
teenagers singing about that. I haven't seen them win that much.
But I don't know. I said it maybe on the vlog or on the fan cams. If that was any other club putting in a performance like they did, there would be booing, there would be fans calling for the manager's head. I don't know if it's to their credit or to their naivety or what, but why are they not more angry about what they're seeing?
I know what you mean.
It was poor from their perspective.
I saw Gary Neville talking about obviously his Man United, and I saw him talking about it on one of his shows on Sky, and he was saying, they didn't go into detail on the Bournemouth game because why would they? But he mentioned that. He said that the fans they never seem to get on their backs or on Ten Hag's backs, and that is to their credit. And I wonder if there's almost an acceptance there. And until the ownership and all that kind of plays into it, I think there's just an acceptance as the season's pretty much over, apart from that cup.
And the need for stability, like we said on the preview, right? You might as well stick with someone.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be very surprised, but you're looking at how Arteta's grown aside and it didn't start great for him. You never know, but I just don't really see any patterns of play, any sort of style. They don't really press, they don't really counter-attack. I don't really know what they do. They just give you a hell of a lot of chances, and to my credit, even though I didn't get the result right, I remember saying to you all week when you were, which I understandably going, do you really, why are you so confident, Man United? I was going, I just think we'll batter them because I just see them all the time. Are so open. Unfortunately I wasn't right because we didn't win the game, but the game transpired as I kind of felt it would. And that's weird because why, if I could see that, a Bournemouth fan who just watches Man U on the telly, why is Ten Hag and the players not addressing anything? The only reason they don't lose all the games is because they've got a little bit of quality particularly Bruno Fernandes. It wasn't on this occasion, but occasionally Højlunds, Garnachos, Rashford, that just pop up with something, and that's getting them out of trouble, mate. Because
a team of individuals, though.
Big time.
They really are. There's not much cohesiveness. And you know what? I thought that Onana was a bit... I don't know. He just didn't seem to know what he wanted to do, and he kept on holding onto the ball for so long. And I remember a couple of times where he was playing it forward. They were getting intercepted very, very quickly. And there was another moment on 15 minutes where Dom Solanke opened the scoring, and that was where I think he played the ball up and it worked its way to Garnacho, but Senesi was really quick and he managed to intercept. And
great to have him back, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dom Solanke. I mean, he turned the defender inside out, didn't he? I wasn't sure whether there was a foul or any arms, but Mark Goldridge was complaining about the pitch being over water or whatever, because he was slipping around all over the place like he was on dancing lights. Exactly. Why didn't Dom Solanke? But the way that Dom took it on and then shot from the edge of the box, our second goal from outside the box in a row after Tavs, and he sent Onana to ground early. He sort of maybe stuttered with his shot, just sorted his feet out. But I think that helped Onana to dive a little bit early so Dom could pick his spot well. And his 17th, 18th, what was it? 17th goal of the season? 18th. Come on, quiz man.
Yeah, exactly. It's the 17th of the season, isn't it? But it was a weird one, because I think that shows Dom Solanke in confidence, because to take that one was a bit of a gamble. I think he had Kluivert to one side that he could have laid through. Most strikers probably would have taken it a bit further. Yeah. To just hit it shows that the guy knows where the net is at the moment. He wouldn't have done that last season. And that's what everyone always says about strikers and confidence. But yeah, I think he said after the game, Dom, that he just saw at the corner of his eye that Kambala was slipping. So he just kept going and driving. Really, really good finish from Dom. Didn't surprise me at all. And he's banging him in at the moment, but you won't see him. Imagine if you were Gareth Southgate, right? Or anyone actually. Watch that whole football match, Bournemouth v Man United. There's quite a lot of English players on the pitch. Yeah. Watch all that. And then afterwards, when they do the report, go, oh, by the way, the only English players that have really got a chance of going to the Euros are Mainu, Maguire and Rashford.
Scary.
You would laugh your head off when you go, hang on, Dom Solanke? No. Lewis Cook? No. It's
so is he at the wrong club then? That's the question that David Jones from Sky posed to Jamie Redknapp.
Bournemouth's Jamie Redknapp.
Yeah.
Not bad. I've always preferred his dad. Mate, I mean, I get the case in point, but equally, if he doesn't go, there's a good chance Ivan Toney will go. Well, he's at Brentford.
Yeah.
So no respect to Brentford, what I mean is in the league table.
Yeah.
So does he need to be in a relegation scrap then? Because I don't understand.
Is it that Dom Solanke hasn't had some kind of high profile betting disaster like Tony did maybe?
It's just so weird. I mean, Ivan Toney's obviously played a lot less games because he was suspended for something he did. He's come back and scored 4 league goals. Yeah. 4. And then you go, okay, maybe he doesn't take either of them because he takes Ollie Watkins. Fair point. Ollie Watkins is very good, by the way. Yeah. Really like Ollie Watkins. He's got 2 more than Dom Solanke at a team in a Champions League place.
Yeah.
You telling me Solanke wouldn't get 2 more goals if he was in a team that were 4th? I've said this previously. I've had enough of kind of sitting on the fence. Dom Solanke's the next best Harry Kane by a million miles.
There you go.
By a million miles. And if you want to go, I'll tell you what, one of them in a game, we need to drop him into the 10. But Dom Solanke played the 10. The others couldn't.
You know who else I thought was the man who had a fantastic game?
You can name a lot, so go on.
Kirkes.
Yeah, brilliant.
He did so well. He did really, really well, I thought. And he was getting forward so much. I thought it was really, really good. He had a number of, he had a header that hit the bar. He had a number of shots. He was getting forward. He was like that show reel that we all saw before he signed. And we thought, this is the man for us. And now we're seeing it.
He was Vigna-like.
It was, yeah.
But with more quality, actually. He was working really well. And obviously, as we'll come on to, with Cine having to go off, as I kind of mentioned earlier, it meant that we obviously brought Kelly on and pushed him up even further because I think Andoni obviously was forced into it, but I think he saw quite quickly that Kirkes could have him on the front foot. So let's just put Kelly on. I thought that worked really well. And that might be one with Cine expecting to be out for this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised now if Kirkes actually plays on the wing with Tav out and kind of plays the Tav role. Yeah. Because I think Kirkes he's so frightening going forward.
Yeah.
And what's weird about him is he never seems to shirk a responsibility to take a shot, and I like that about him. I thought he was brilliant. It's a shame, so I don't think he'll be with us much longer personally, but I thought he was brilliant, and probably one of his, if not his best performance for the club, to be honest with you.
I absolutely loved the way he got forward. And as Ben Boschak said, he made the joint most recoveries, which was 8 in Bournemouth's defence against Manchester United. He also won 3 out of 4 duels, made the most crosses from open play, and of course was unlucky not to score. And he had a few chances to get forward. But then we had many chances. Sinisterra pulled it wide of the post. He had the right back. It was Dallo.
I love it when
Dallo dallied.
I love it when Sinisterra just gets one-on-one with the fullback, and you ain't got a clue where he's going. Because he's happy to come inside, as we saw, I think it was against Fulham, where he comes inside and smashed it in.
Yeah.
He's happy to go on the outside and have it with his left. The defenders don't have a clue where he's going. His feet are incredible, aren't they? And it's just, as Leeds fans have warned us, it's just if we keep him fit. If we keep him fit for a season next season, we've got a hell of a player.
Ouattara had a chance. My goodness, where he just pulled it wide. And
Great run and pass.
Yeah, really good. By the way, he did so well as well.
I thought we were saying this after the game, weren't we? That I almost think, probably his age, I want Ouattara to take more risks, because I think he's clearly athletic, powerful. And I looked on statistically, and he had 1 dribble attempt and he beat his man, but he didn't try it again. And sometimes I just think, where I was just saying there, where City will get it and drive it as fullback. Semenyo does it a lot. I almost want Ouattara to do it a little bit more. He's got the pace and power, but we probably went a little bit more on the other side.
Yeah.
But he helped out his fullback, and Ouattara was good. It was just unfortunate that you're probably looking at the game going, Semenyo's just got that little bit more about him in front of goal.
Yeah, the directness and the ability to get past players.
But yeah, while we've got these injuries, we need players like Ouattara to take their chance. And to his credit, I think he has of late, which is great to see, because he's still young.
And then after that, like we said, Christie had the couple of chances that we spoke about earlier.
Clive as well.
Oh man, yes, we just Clive's chance just before half time. But we'll move on to his goal shortly. But in terms of Ryan Christie, there's that stat from who's scored about the most times possession has been won in the Premier League since the beginning of 2024. Ryan Christie and Lewis Cook, both with 94. The Cherries midfield duo leading the way. At the moment, they are just the default choices for those two positions, aren't they?
Incredible, and it shows, they're both bloody good footballers and have been for a long, long time, but it shows the level of coach we've got, in my opinion. Lewis Cook was having spells where managers were trying him just in front of the back four. There was times where we were trying him higher up. We've even played him wide. He's come in out of the team.
Is this now prime Lewis Cook?
Yeah, prime Lewis Cook. First time we've seen it, and it's Andoni. And then Ryan Christie has never played in this position before. Andoni's put him there, and he's incredible. And you look at it, and Gareth Southgate doesn't look at Lewis Cook, which when you see some of the players that he does look at in that position, like Ari, Calvin Phillips, Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, it seems strange. And then Scotland's manager play him in a front four and out wide, and really baffling. But them two as a pairing, and you said it at the top of the show, mate, we've got Tyler Adams. No wonder we've got quality players in Philip Binn and Alex Scott who cannot get near that pitch. No wonder someone like a Rothwell had to go out on loan, because them two are just formidable, absolutely really formidable. Good. And Christie got all the credit, rightly so, and got his man of the match. Lewis Cook just goes under the radar every week because he was sensational again, but we're almost just expecting it now. Yeah,
absolutely. So for all the chances that we had, Man United drew level, and it was Fernandes who scored. It was a bit of a pinball, really.
Yeah, it felt nicely to him, didn't it?
A couple of conjecture. There was a bit of conjecture of a couple of potential fouls. Dom Solanke, and then I think Ouattara. I think he just got out-muscled.
I think the Solanke one that was a long way before, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So I think that moment had gone, but the ball, I think it just came off Zabani's heel and set up nicely for Bruno. It was almost like time stood still for a little bit, and like their fans didn't sound like they were properly celebrating because they thought it might have got pulled back.
I think a few Bournemouth players were on the floor, weren't they? And we thought, is that going to get stopped? Yeah, but
1-1. But we kept going. We didn't let that mentally affect us. And this is where Kirkes and Solanke combined really well. Do you remember that drive down the left-hand side where Kirkes picked it up from the left-back position? Lovely little flick from Solanke. And he just kept on going. But 5 minutes later, we were 2-1 up. Justin Kluivert, and another assist for Marcus Senesi, by the way.
I know, I didn't even think about it, and we were saying afterwards, weren't we, that I was make the comparison that we've done it quite a lot, that we always feel for like Mepham, for example, because he comes in, always puts a shift in. If you want to know the difference between the two centre-halves, it's probably this game, and that's no disrespect to Chris Mepham, but Chris Mepham probably, because they're not unbelievable passes from Senesi. But Chris Mepham gets the ball like most centre-backs actually, and would probably give it to Zamani. Selesi always wants to play that pass. He almost comes into midfield, doesn't he? A lot of the time. It's brilliant, and it's risky, and we get caught because of it. But I love that from Selesi, and Kluivert, mate.
He just had so much space.
Kluivert is just...
I thought it was offside, didn't I, on the vlog? Do you remember?
Yeah, and I was going to shut up.
Yeah. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. My eyes tell the story.
Yes. And yeah, he was doing that all game, Monty Kluivert. He picks up them positions so well. Another player that I didn't really see as a number 10.
No.
I mean, Antoni's put him there, and we just function so much better with him in the team. We said it, didn't we, late on when he had to come off? It took a little bit out of us. Just think Kluivert's been...
Still think he's got a lot to learn.
He has, but I think this second part of the season, you almost say he's been one of our players of the season, really. Yeah, of course. And he's still... I think you forget because he's been in so many clubs. He's 24. He's very young. And and there's something about him. He's turned into a bit of a fan's favourite.
Yeah, he is. He's scoring goals, and each and every goal that he scores are getting more emphatic. Yes. At start, I've said this before, he was just, they were almost hitting him or just deflecting into goal. But yeah, brilliant shot. Hit it sort of earlier than most of us anticipated. Almost used the defender as a bit of a shield. So Onana saw it late, and into the goal. Did you notice that he told Adam Smith to F off whilst reeling away in celebration? He had his celebration ready, or whatever it was. He was going into the corner.
Right.
And as Adam Smith bundles him from behind, he says, F off.
Oh, does he? Oh, nice. Like team spirit there. No, I didn't realise that. He didn't even really do a celebration, did he?
Yeah,
he just kind of come over and went like that.
He always looked a little bit angry with it as well.
I love it.
You know what? So pleased. And then that Sinistera substitution that you alluded to, we'll have a look at the match timeline. That was on 39 minutes. And do we know how bad it is?
No, but I think he's just basically said, obviously he's been out of the hamstring since the international one that come back. Obviously it takes a little bit of time. He felt it was okay, and he's felt it again. So that might be one that I think now, especially with us being obviously safe, I think it's one where you just don't risk it so you might not see him again this season. It's a bit similar with Tav probably. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see how they recover. But he looked gutted, didn't he, Cine? But Kelly done really well as he come on, as you'd expect him to do. I was really surprised he was on the bench, actually.
And Lloyd Kelly then came on. Obviously, as you said, that Kirkes, that gave him licence to go forward a little bit more. Speaking of Lloyd Kelly, seems like he's turned down an offer of a new deal, by the sounds of it, one which would have made him one of the club's top earners. Newcastle apparently favourites to land him, which is probably not a surprise that he wants to go, doesn't he? Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I think this is always very similar to Lerma, where we kind of expected it. A bit more of a shame because of his age, and his ceiling's higher than Lerma's, so it would have been nice to have got a fee. But yeah, listen, we always knew, I think, that he would never share responsibility, just like Jefferson Lerma didn't. He would put a shift in the season, but he's going to go. It'd be a real surprise if he were to stay. There's always going to be clubs sniffing around. I actually think sometimes he's probably been left on the bench the weekend because Andoni knows. I mean, Lloyd Kelly is in our starting 11. Yeah. But I think Andoni knows that we'll have to cope without him very, very soon. So he's trying to see how he can work. You know what I mean? He didn't, for him not to start with the players we got out was a surprise. So yeah, I mean, I wish him all the best wherever he goes. I think Newcastle would make sense. I know a lot of people are saying, it's obviously just the Eddie Howe effect. I'm sure that'll play a part because he's worked with him, but listen, they're a team that are probably going to be in Europe. They're a massive football club that have got a lot of backing and can go a lot further. So it's a good move for him. And people saying that going to sit on the bench there. No, I don't think so. I think neutrals or Newcastle fans that think he's going to sit on the bench haven't seen Lloyd Kelly. He's better than Dan Burn at left back. And he's better than Dan Burn at centre back. God, yeah. He's a left-sided centre back, and he's better than Dan Burn. Trust me. Well, Dan Burn's not a bad player. If we go up to Newcastle next season, which we will, Lloyd, we'll obviously see you in Causey Jaws. Causey Jaws. I tell you what. Who needs Kelly, though, when you've got a left-back that can leap and head a ball like Milos Kirkes? Adam Smith, worldie of a cross. Well, was it a worldie of a cross? I don't know. Man United's marking was just all over the place, and he had so much space, but the header was almost too perfect. I know. Hit it into the ground. He'd obviously been he had a lot of time to think about it, because it was a bit of a loopy cross, but the contact was good, but almost too good. Yeah, I know what you mean. It was almost too clean. He needed to just skip off the side of his head. But yeah, I think the pair of them, actually, you mentioned the stat earlier about Kirkes' crosses, and Smith puts them in early as well, and you can see that's clearly instruction from the gaffer to put balls in early. So. And it was Kirkes that put in the cross for Justin Kluivert just before half time as well, where really he should have scored it. I didn't realise how good a chance that was. Actually a good save from another. It was a good reaction save. Fortunate, I think, because it was straight at him, but he had to scramble his body and work out a way to keep it out, which he did. And then even Man United had a chance. Fernandes off the bar, although it was
Would it? I don't think it was really testing Neto. It was one of those ones that was always...
It looked like it was over. Yeah, and then it just dipped because I saw it on the telly because I was getting my beer then. And I just thought I was well over, and then it just dipped onto the bar. But yeah, no, it was a really good half, and I put it on our Telegram, didn't I? And I said to you that at half time, if it would be brilliant, but it's going to bite us. Because this is what Man U do. It's going to bite us. The game should be done, and it was 2-1, and I didn't like that.
Shots were raining in throughout that half. Indeed, if we look at this is the shots chalkboard, if you watch it on YouTube, for the whole of the game, but look at that, really restricting their chances. In terms of shots on target, I think it was only a couple for Manchester United, wasn't it, frustratingly? But like more than double the shots. Who would have thought that two of our easiest games this season would come against the Red Devils? And look, we went in, we were confirmed quiz winners thanks to Tom Jordan's excellence, and then back out for the second half. It was one that took a while to get started, but then in a period of play where there was a little bit of a lull, there was a penalty that came out of absolutely nowhere. Tony Harrington gave it straight away, almost too quickly, almost blew the whistle before the incident happened. That's how keen he was. A cross or shot or whatever it was, I think it was a cross, deflection off Christie, onto Adam Smith, who they've looked at it, and the VAR apparently have said he put his arm towards the ball. I disagree. He did initially, but then he brought it back in. At the point of contact, his arm couldn't have been anywhere other than against his body, and they've awarded it for that.
If Adam Smith's managed to deliberately handball that after a deflection from that close, he should get another job, because his reactions are incredible. I mean, that's like a superpower if he's managed to handball that on purpose. It's just ridiculous, mate. And you always say to me in all the previews, do you want to know who the ref is? And I always say no. If I hear that name again, I'm not going to be happy. Was he the one at Leeds, did you say it was the last time? We got
Yeah, but, not just that. It's it would have been checked.
Oh, of course. But
Jared Gillett was...
Of course he was.
On the VAR.
I hate him.
It's so difficult with penalties, especially with handballs and stuff, because there's this sort of... Was it clear and obvious interpretation?
Don't get me going on that.
What's the point?
Don't get me going on that crap.
What's the point? I just don't understand, because I think I texted you on the Sunday and I said, in the game against Liverpool versus Palace, I can't remember who it is, Robertson crossed the ball in and it hit Nathaniel Klein's arm, which was against his body, but it was high up in an unnatural position. And the ref waves, play on, VAR checks it, and then nothing happened as a result. So if that's not a clear and obvious error, why bother having VAR at all then? Because either it should be consistent,
there's no consistency,
across similar decisions, or just don't have it at all. Or there's just no point in the rules. Why have it in the rule book then? It's just bizarre.
We'll come on to consistency more later on, I'm sure, mate. But
you will.
Yeah, it just does, man. And you mentioned it there, mate. I've never seen a referee so quick to give a penalty in my life. Unbelievable how quickly he gave that. And the thing that's annoying is it's one of them where you go, if he doesn't give that, the VAR wouldn't have overruled.
No.
So it's just ridiculous. It's just all a load of rubbish, mate. But anyway, they got it. I knew they'd probably score it. They did. But yeah, I don't really understand what we're supposed to do anymore. I just think, unfortunately, you're going to get them and you're not going to get them, and you're probably more likely to get them if you're a bigger football club. And I've always said that, and I wouldn't back down on that. We go every week. We say to a lot of people that don't go to games or whatever, and you kind of chat to mates, go, it's so difficult when you're Bournemouth in the Premier League, you don't get it. And I think everyone kind of goes, oh yeah, you're going to say that, blah blah. Trust me, honestly, if you just watch that game, I watch it with my eyes every 50-50, and I kind of get it. Because if you're human, these referees are humans, and every 50-50, if they're not sure, their mind is going to go, who am I going to get more grief off? If I give it to Bournemouth, the Man U fans and the media, because it's Man U, will implode. Yeah. If I give it to Man U, there probably won't be much, a few Bournemouth fans. Yeah. And so they just lean towards the bigger club, and that's just what happens.
And Match the Day sort of...
And they epitomise that.
They skirted over it. If it had gone the other way, then they'd be questioning it massively, but they didn't. So, and then it got called into action again, because not much else really happened in that second half, apart from in the 90th minute where Jared Gillett overruled this time what Tony Harrington said. And to be fair, Tony Harrington made that decision of giving a penalty because he knows what the rules are. They start... If an incident starts outside the box and carries on into the box, then it's a penalty. And it was called back to be A free kick on the edge of the area.
Yeah, I said that we'll come to consistency here. Do you remember Newcastle away?
Yeah.
Adam Smith on Fabian Schär.
Yeah.
Started outside the box, but they gave a penalty because it carried on into the box. That was away at a big football club, and they got that decision. We didn't get it. Don't have a clue why. We all thought, they've just got the laws wrong there. They've gone outside when clearly it carries on. And then I've actually seen more recently, I don't know if you saw, Mark McAdam was tweeting about it when asked. He said, apparently it's come out that the ref gave the penalty for a trip and not for holding.
Right.
So the VAR was confirming whether the trip was inside or outside the box. The holding was not given as a penalty.
Wow.
That's why it was given as a free kick, because the ref said in the air, I've given a penalty for a trip.
Yeah.
The trip was outside the box, and they decided, he grapples him like a rugby player after, but don't worry about that. Madness, absolute madness. Can't get me around it, but there you go. And yeah, it's 100% not that. You cannot tell me that if that was given for Manchester United at Old Trafford, that wouldn't have stood. Of course it would have. It would have.
Yeah, and Martin Keown, he said, I suppose we have to trust it. Oh.
That's nice. Good analysis.
Okay.
Good analysis, that. Really nice analysis.
So, after the game, we got some fan opinions sent in. These were some of the views from Terry Nichols, David Cordell, Liam Humby, Chris Edwards and Morgan Scott.
Great game today. Almost a win. Stupid darn penalty, but I'll take 4 points off of Man U any day.
Well, here I am from the United States, and I have to tell you, I'm disappointed. I thought we had won that game, or should have won that game, and if it wasn't for that referee, I think we would have won the game. Here's an example of a referee who affected the game in a bad way, and I hope he never refs another game for us. In terms of our performance, I thought we were great. I thought we played well. I thought Solanke was superb. I thought Kluivert was superb. I thought Kirkers was superb. I thought Senesi was superb. In fact, I think the whole team played well. And how they gave a penalty against Adam Smith, how they can say that was a handball and that his hand was in an unnatural position, I don't know. But then again, it's a Big Six club, and that's what happens. Onwards, let's beat Wolves, let's beat Brighton, let's beat Arsenal, let's beat Brentford, let's beat Chelsea, and let's beat them all.
Very unlucky today. We were unlucky with the penalty decision. Justin Kluivert was my man of the match. We're unbeaten against United. Up the cherries!
Match was a total range of emotions. Joy, because it was so much fun to watch. Our style of play, so entertaining. Frustration, we had 20 shots, but only got 2 goals. Match should have been put away in the first half. Side note, we can't sell Dom. No matter how much somebody offers during the summer, we can't replace his goals and goal-scoring ability. Confusion. I don't know what a pin is. It seems like it changes from match to match, but check the badge. A sense of satisfaction, because we're doing pretty good if we're frustrated with a point against Manchester United. Just shows the progress of what this club is doing. Lastly, happy birthday, Jeff. Up the Ches.
Yesterday, what a game at Dean Court. AFC Bournemouth was so dominant. Are we on the beach? No, definitely not. We are so far away. Are we going to Europe? Should I get my passport renewed? Because it could still happen. Now, let's chill out a bit. But it's exciting. It's a great... Andoni Iraola, manager of the month, still wanting to win the game. Even after the ridiculous call for that penalty against Adam Smith. What are you thinking? And then the penalty at the end, how that isn't overturned is ridiculous. Like, it just... The referee on field gave the decision. Stick with that call. Why does he need... It wasn't a clear and obvious error in my opinion. Very frustrating. It does feel like 2 points dropped in a way. And I am quite annoyed about it still. But however, we got a great opportunity to go into our next game against Aston Villa, and who knows, going for Europe could still happen. Up the cherries.
Okay, so here are the match stats. Then 2 shots. It was just 2 shots on target for Manchester United. 1 off the woodwork, We hit the woodwork as well. Of course, Milos Kerkez,
Yes.
5 on target, 9 off target. To be fair, it just feels like we absolutely battered them. And then those are the average positions. If you're looking on YouTube, you can see it on your SofaScore app. Just go to the lineups and then click average positions. And you can see, by the way, when you click on individual players, how hard certain players work, including Justin Kluivert and Dom Solanke. Check out their heat maps. Also, Milos Kerkez as well, who I thought was absolutely brilliant, which leads me onto the player ratings. I may have thrown in a curveball there by mentioning Milos Kerkez, because I'm going to tell you now, he wasn't the highest rated Bournemouth player. You did your video on Telegram, which is for people who help back in the net on Ko-fi.
Yeah, if they help us support the channel and everything we do, then they're on the Telegram group, and then we do a few little different bits in there, don't we? Little bloopers and that when you make them, and and I whack in a little player ratings kind of the day after the game, just to go for each individual player and for my thoughts after I've kind of settled down, not in the moment, and choose my man of the match and all that good stuff. And it was difficult because I felt you can make a case for a lot. In terms statistically, who do I think is going to get it? I think it's probably going to be between Christie, who got it on the game, didn't he? And maybe a Dom or Kluivert. But I actually felt that Kluivert was sensational. I think you can make a case for Kerkez, you can make a case for Senesi, you can make a case for loads of them. Was it Christie? Or...
Dom and Kluivert.
Okay.
Like you say there, 7.9 for Dom, 7.5 Justin Kluivert. Amazingly, Bruno Fernandes. 8.4, but he hit the bar, and also,
he was that only player that, he hit the woodwork and they had 2 shots on target. They're all him. We always caveat it with statistics. The certain things you have to take with a pinch of salt. So, like, I'm going to defend Neto. He's going to get a really low rating because they had 2 shots on target and they both went in. So they're saying, well, he didn't make a save. But obviously one's a pen. He can't do anything like the goal. So, it is what it is. But that doesn't surprise me too much, man. I didn't think there was anyone who had a bad game for us. I think you could have made a case for most of them, to be honest with you. So, and that's always pleasing, mate. It was a really good team performance, and it's just decisions and not putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's all it was. But I really enjoyed it again.
A really enjoyable game, and you just wonder now, what are we're 4 points, is it, off our our record points target, 46. Will it come next week though? Because Sky say no, but do you think, because Villa, what a good result for them, by the way, at Arsenal. Superb result.
I'd be very surprised. They've done the double on Arsenal. They've already beaten City as well. I think they've got their game on Thursday, their second leg, and they only won the first leg at home 2-1. So it's a big game for them, which helped. I also believe that Kamara's out and Douglas Luiz has to have a second suspension. Another game, sorry. So that's their 2 in the midfield that are really pivotal to them. And we just spoke about Cook and Christie. That could be an area where we hurt them a little bit, and they might have a little bit of, kind of a hangover from Europe. So it's not the worst time to play them. Do I think we'll go down and win? Probably not. I think they're a really good side at home. Could we nick a point? Maybe. We did it in the reverse, and we were very unlucky not to win that game. And then obviously quite quickly we've got to go back there because we're playing Wolves. I'd probably take 3 out of them 2. We could get 2. We could get anything. I'd be very surprised if we got 6. Very surprised. But we'll get these 4 points. I'm sure of it.
I'm getting concerned. All right. About the players that will be with us next season, because I don't know, as the season goes on, we're doing so well. I think we're a team where other clubs are going to look to cherry pick our best talent, excuse the pun, but Lloyd Kelly,
he'll go,
he's likely to be off. I think Milos Kerkez has been linked with clubs, as has Zabani. Dom Solanke, surely not. Surely he's not going to be here. Could he be?
He could, but I think that
it's such a shame that this is going to happen season after season now, because we are that kind of club.
Maybe.
It feels like we kind of rode out a transition for quite a long time with the players that we've got, which is good.
And that's probably why the recruitment team and that are signing quite young to keep the value there, which is always important. And we've got a really good squad, even if you take them players out. I think, we've spoke about Lloyd Kelly and how great he is, but there's never been a season where he's fit all season. He's always as a month or so out, and we cope.
Okay, but Dom though?
Dom, we would struggle to replace. I don't think we would replace Dom like for like. We'd have to get a few bodies in that would provide enough goals. I think we've seen.
Kluivert's helping.
We've seen Kluivert can get the goals. We've seen Semenyo can get goals. We know that Tav can, albeit not as much this season. We still got to wait for see what happens with Unai. We got to wait for the trajectory of your people like Alex Scott and Dango Ouattara, Luis Sinisterra. We've got Brooks maybe coming back, Jaden maybe coming back. We have got options. It's just going to be, it's one pivotal man in Dom Solanke that's going to be really hard, and we're going to have to get a few things right. He may stay. I'd be very, very surprised. Please, Dom. I would be shocked. But Kirkes and Kelly, I think, will go. It's a shame they're probably in the same sort of area. So we'll need to recruit there. But yeah, I don't think we'll lose any other key players. I think it'll be them 3, probably. But yeah, there's a few areas we need to strengthen anyway, and we'll get a lot of money for Dom Solanke, a lot of money for Milos Kirkes because of his age. So there's a lot of money there where you can look at potentially a goalkeeper, maybe a bit more fullback, you can strengthen in a lot of areas there. And, you know, you've got to remember there's players, I mentioned obviously Brooksy in particular, but there's also players like Alex Scott and Philip Billing who can't go on the pitch.
Yeah, very
Who are good footballers. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's just, it's big on Frano and other people to try and
It's huge for Frano.
get some players in. But we've done well, mate. We have done really well.
I had a chat with him before the game because he came down into hospitality to say happy birthday to Jeff.
Yeah.
And
Say hello to us.
and I said to him, you know, big shoes to fill. And I joked whether he'd been, you know, brushing up on his Italian to make sure he can fill Richard Hughes's shoes. And he said, well, one thing's for sure, a lot of my signings will probably be British.
Yeah.
Obviously he was joking.
Yes.
But, you know, it's not just on Frano, is it? You know, because there's a whole recruitment team that we've got out there. And
but listen, if we get, this is what I'm saying, Lloyd Kelly aside, if you're talking about, I mean, I think Savani will stay, but if you're talking about him and you're talking about Kirkes, you're talking about Solanke, that's a hell of a lot of money. So regardless, you're going to have a lot of money to spend on certain players. You're going to get good quality. I'm still confident, mate. We've got a bloody good coach. Just keep him around for a bit longer, please. I'm excited with what's happening on the pitch anyway, mate. And I didn't even mention Tyler Adams there. If we can keep the bloody boy fit, we've got a hell of a player there as well.
But will he be able to work his way back in? Who knows? Look, whether you've been watching or listening, we truly appreciate your time. It's been a second look that has come out later in the week, but the content will be coming thick and fast. There's an away day show to catch up on, a couple actually, and then we're into our preview content for Villa. But either which way, make sure you stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Up cherries.
Up the cherries. Come on.
I hate referees.